On a calm day in October, a small newsroom in the Netherlands shared a big story. The story began with one man. His name is Gabriel Geiger. He is a reporter. He looks for facts. He reads tips. He checks files. In mid-2024, he found something strange. It was a digital file, a single entry in a vast ocean of information that flows across the internet every day. But this file was different. It did not contain public information or harmless data. It held the private movements of a person, tracked with chilling precision. This single file was the first thread he pulled, and it would unravel a story of global surveillance. Gabriel found a leak, an archive with almost 1.5 million records. Phone numbers, timestamps, GPS points, movement trails. The dataset was the core of the investigation, a massive digital ledger of human movement. Each record was like a snapshot in time, a phone number, a precise timestamp, and a set of GPS coordinates. Together, they formed a detailed trail. You could see a phone number travel from an airport to a hotel, to an office building, to a private residence. The first task, prove it was real. They cross-referenced against public records. Phone formats matched real international codes. For example, a +33 moving through Paris. Timestamps aligned with real-world events. Clusters formed before major summits, not a coincidence. Internal coherence grew with each check. This was not A to B. It showed stops and habits. The same places, the same days. It was a live log from an operational surveillance system tracking thousands without consent. With the data confirmed, the team hunted its source. A crucial clue, First Wap. On the surface, unremarkable. A telecom services firm based in Jakarta, Indonesia, claiming to support operators, route traffic, maintain infrastructure. But directors had European names, unusual for a local entity. No visible local staff, no real footprint. The listed address led nowhere meaningful. Layered ownership and offshore links masked control. Web pages said little about services or clients, a strategic jurisdiction, a linguistic barrier, harder to scrutinize from Europe or the US, a smokescreen by design. Behind it, powerful surveillance tech for sale. First Wap was a label on a ghost, a front for an enterprise dealing in private lives. It felt like peeling back a mask. They had a data archive and a ghost company, but they needed more. They went to a surveillance trade show. Luxurious hotels in places like Dubai or Prague. They built a fake company, a backstory, and went in with hidden cameras and recorders. Risky, with legal and personal stakes. They met a sales executive tied to the Altamides system. His name was Janther Rudolph. Calm, professional, confident. He spoke freely, believing he was with serious clients. He explained capabilities, tracking targets anywhere in the world as long as their phones were on. The conversation was recorded, explosive evidence. He described routing deals through third countries to hide end users. Tracing real operators would be nearly impossible. He even offered a live proof of concept. A human link closed the loop. The most frightening part was the technology, Altamides. It did not work like typical spyware. No apps, no clicks, no infection needed. A ghost in the machine. It exploited the signaling layer of telecom networks, the brain of how phones connect. It routes calls and texts, talks to towers, connects phones worldwide, sending constant packets that include location. Altamides could ask the network for your location without ever touching your device. Imagine a postal service. Most spyware opens letters. Altamides is the corrupt clerk who reads the address from inside the sorting office. If your phone is on and connected, you can be tracked. Closing apps, secure browsers, even wiping the phone won't help. The tracking happens inside the network your device trusts. The network itself becomes a weapon. Scalable mass surveillance following thousands at once. The archive revealed who was being watched. Not random. Not a dragnet for ordinary citizens. A curated list of powerful, influential people. Senior officials, former prime ministers, cabinet members, members of royal families, top business leaders, CEOs of multinationals, individuals in high-tech and aerospace, people with access to state secrets and IP. The focus looked like political, economic, and strategic intelligence. Track a prime minister for plans, a CEO for deals, map who meets whom and where. Espionage, blackmail, manipulation, all become easier with movement intelligence. The archive didn't name users, but the targets told the story. This was no small-time operator, a serious, well-funded global operation. A technical leak became a geopolitical crisis. When the story broke, the reaction was immediate. Governments were forced to respond. Emergency sessions, vulnerability assessments, internal audits. They scrambled to confirm authenticity and scope. Publicly, promises of investigations. Privately, urgent audits of critical infrastructure. The issue rose to heads of state. Trust in communications was shaken. Websites tied to First Wap went dark. Servers became unreachable. Public records were scrubbed. Silence, a confession in itself. Who paid? Who used it? Where are they now? Those questions hung in the air. Altamides exposed a deeper problem. Law moves at the speed of government. Surveillance tech moves at the speed of light. A gray market thrives in jurisdictional gaps. Complex ownership and offshore shells hide accountability. Money moves through mazes of accounts. Resellers add deniability for buyers and sellers. Tools cross borders into unregulated hands. European owners, Indonesian cover, worldwide targets. Whose laws apply? Authoritarians can spy on dissidents and reporters. Corporations can conduct economic espionage. Our location, relationships, and habits become commodities. Without new rules and cooperation, this story will repeat, with more powerful tech and a wider legal void. Beneath networks and shell companies, this is about people. Lives cataloged without consent. Turned into data points. Movements stored in secret. This is not victimless. It breeds fear and suspicion. For politicians, business leaders, and royals, the consequences are clear. Private meetings, travel plans, associations, ammunition for blackmail and threats. But the existence of such a system affects everyone. It chills speech, associations, movement. It shifts power from citizen to state and to corporations. They can predict behavior, influence decisions, punish dissent. A free society needs private space to think and act. Mass surveillance is not futuristic. It is here now, and it is real. Gabriel Geiger and his team opened a door to a hidden world. Data, records, undercover audio, an undeniable case. They made the problem real and accountable. Now the world must choose. Treat it as an isolated incident, or as a systemic problem. Real change needs new laws and international agreements. Bring the industry into the light with clear, enforceable rules. Lawmakers, judges, and technology leaders must answer urgent questions. Who paid for Altamides? Who used it? How did it reach so many networks? How do we prevent the next system? The facts uncovered are a foundation for action. Act decisively to close the gap, or face endless leaks, outrage, and inaction. The stakes are high. The time to act is now. The world deserves rules that match the risk.